Hi, everyone, and welcome to this gentle backbending Hatha yoga class. We're going to start seated, so coming to cross ankles. If you can't do cross ankles, stretch your legs straight out in front of you, big toes pointing straight up. Just resting your arms and allowing your eyes to close. Take a moment to focus onto your breath, becoming aware of the breath moving in and out of your nose. With each out breath, softening into your chest, relaxing the eyes and all the muscles in your face. Now, with your next exhale, we're going to round the spine, curling your chest forward, rounding your back, tucking your chin to your throat. And as you breathe in, curling back up again. And if it's comfortable on your neck, tilting your head all the way back. As you exhale, rounding back down. Now keep rolling up and down with your breath. If it's not good on your neck, you don't have to tilt the head back. You can just curl up and have the nose pointing straight forward. And keep taking the shoulders all the way back away from your chest each time you lift, feeling that gentle stretch across the collarbones and the sternum. Now, next time you round down, pause there. We're going to bring hands to the back of your head or neck and hug your elbows in towards each other. On your next in-breath, curl yourself up, open the elbows. As you breathe out, rounding back down, bringing elbows in towards each other, maybe even to touch each other if you're able to get them that close. In-breath rolls you up, out-breath rolls you down. And next time you curl up, staying there, lift your chest, lengthen up tall through the sides of your neck and the top of your head, stretching the upper arms and elbows all the way back. And now from here, we're going to release the hands down to the floor behind you. Turn your fingers to point away from you. Lift your chest up high and arch into the upper back and the rib cage, sinking your knees down towards the floor. If it's comfortable on your neck, you're welcome to tilt the head back. Keep lifting your weight up out of your upper back. And now lifting your head if you dropped it back. And we're going to stretch the legs forwards in front of you and come into a twist. So bending your right knee up, foot on the floor in front of the right hip. Hold the shin, that's your right shin, with your left hand or your left elbow, and circle your right arm back behind you. Now, once you're in the twist here, lift your chest even higher, come to a tall, straight spine, and push your left heel forwards away from your left hip. Keep that left heel on the ground. Flex the ankle, pulling your toes all the way back and up. Now, keeping your back tall and straight, untwist yourself. Stretch the right leg straight next to your left leg and bend the left knee up. Taking your twist around to the other side. Don't let the right foot fall over. Keep the right toes and knee pointing straight up, just like you did on the other side. Each time you breathe out, feel the hips sink down so you're nice and rooted to your mat, giving you that firm, stable base to rise up out of each time you breathe in. Keeping the back straight and tall, and twist yourself. And now when both of your legs are pointing forwards, bring the big toes together, flex the ankles, and again take your hands back behind you, pointing your fingers away from your body. Push down firmly. Take the shoulders in towards each other behind you. Lift your chest, lift your ribs. You don't have to tilt your head back, but if it is comfortable and it feels good for you, then go ahead. Arch the spine, arch the head, and let the head drop back. If your head is dropping back, lift up even higher with your upper back. Keep those big toes touching. And then coming all the way up, walk the hands forward. We're taking another twist. Bend the right knee up. Step your right foot over your left thigh and circle around again. Make sure here that you don't lift your right thumb off the ground. Keep it down so that the pelvis is square on the mat, not tilted off to one side. That allows the muscles in your back to release down evenly on each side. And carefully untwisting, we take the right leg straight, bend the left knee up, stepping left foot over the right thigh, right foot is still flexed, twist around to the side. Each time you breathe in, lift up with the side waist, lift up with your side ribs as well. Keep noticing your breath as it rolls in and out through your nose. And untwisting yourself again, taking your legs out in front of you, and same as the last time, we come into that easy fish pose. Hands back behind you, fingers point away from the body. Lift your chest a little bit higher, pressing it forwards as it goes up, and maybe dropping your head back again. So even though your bum is on the floor, it's like you're almost trying to lift it off the ground here. You're just lightly touching rather than leaning all your weight down into your body. With an in-breath, head lifts up, hands walk forwards. And now we're going to make our way onto hands and knees for cats and cows. Spread your fingers, palms and fingers flat on the mat as you roll your spine. Breathing in to sink the rib cage down. Breathing out to round the tummy up. Keep rolling with the breath. Sink your shin bones, your ankles, and your toes into the floor. And each time you round your back up, tuck your chin in nice and close to your neck. And we're coming back into a flat spine. On an in-breath, we're going to lift the arms all the way up. Stretch them over your shoulders. Again, if it's comfortable on your neck, you can tilt your head back, but you don't have to do that. You can point your nose forward and just stretch up with the arms. And the focus here is that each time you breathe in, lift your armpits higher from your side ribs. Lift the elbows higher from the armpits. Lift the fingertips even higher away from the elbows. And if your head is pointing up with the nose lifted, Each time you breathe in, lift with the chin, lift with the nose. Keep the breath rolling. On an exhale, coming down onto your hands again, we walk the arms forward, coming to baby down dog. Align your thigh bones directly over your knee joints. Make sure that your shin bones are parallel to each other behind your knees. Relax your eyes, cheeks, and your mouth. And we're walking back up onto hands. And like you did a moment ago, on an inhale, lift the arms, sweep them all the way up. Lift your chest, lift your rib cage. At the same time, press down with your shins and your feet behind you. Even if the toes are tucked under, keep pressing them down into the mat. On an out breath, dropping onto your hands again. This time we're lifting into down dog. Toes tuck, lift the knees. Relax your neck and hang your head. Now walking your feet forwards to your hands at the top of the mat. Sink down deep over your thighs. We'll hold on to the forearms and sway from side to side. Your knees can be bent here. And then centering yourself and dropping your arms down. Feet are hip distance apart. And now we're going to float up and down, warm into the shoulder joints a bit more. On an inhale, reach the arms out to the sides and up. On your exhale, forward bend, sweeping the arms out and down. Keep going up and down with the breath in your own time. And make sure that you keep your knees as wide as your heels. Don't lean them in towards each other. So we're also warming into the chest muscles before we go a little bit deeper into our back bends. We're not doing deep back bends, as I said earlier, only keeping them quite gentle here. Keep rising and falling, feeling that breath move through you. And now next time you fall down, stay in the forward bend again. Now from here, we're going to take the feet a little bit wider than the hips to the edges of your mat. So you should be at the top of the mat, not standing sideways like I am. So feet to the two narrow sides of the mat. And we're going to take a twist, hooking your right fingers either over your left knee or calf or ankle, and either bringing left hand to your left hip or twisting the left arm all the way up. Now tip your weight forwards to the fronts of your feet and push out with the knees. Please, guys, if this is uncomfortable on your neck, hang your head down, look towards the floor, and if it's uncomfortable on your shoulder, left hand down on your hip. We'll change to the other side. Left fingers hook over the right leg wherever you can, either sweeping the right arm straight up or bringing hand down onto your pelvis. So if you've got the hand on your hip, try and point your elbow up, but only so far as it's comfortable on the shoulder joints. Don't force it any deeper. And relax the neck. It's fine if your knees are bent. And releasing that right arm down. Take a few rolls of the shoulders. And now bring your feet in to hip distance apart again. And on an inhale, float your arms all the way up to standing over your head. And like we did on shins, we're going to stay here, reaching the arms up, either looking forwards or tilting the head back, but lifting with the upper arms, lifting with the fingertips, lifting with the chin and the nose if the head is tilted back. On an exhale, either bringing hands to chest or arms down your sides. And now we're going to take just one sun salutation here. On an in-breath, reach the arms up. On your out-breath, fold down. As you breathe in, bring hands to shins, half lift. And on an out-breath, step yourself back into down dog. Now either staying in your down dog if you prefer, or on an in-breath, come forwards into plank. And we lower down to the mat. Dropping knees first if you need to. Point the toes back. On an in-breath, curling the chest up. On an exhale, lowering back down. We take a few more of those rolls. Inhale to curl up. Exhale to lower. And you do not have to go very high. Maybe it's just a very small lift and lower. Do what is comfortable for your back, your arms, your neck and shoulders. Let's roll up and down one more time. After you've done that, we're making our way back into downwards facing dog again. Let's take feet forwards to hands. We're coming to standing forward again, forward bend again with the feet hip distance apart. And now bringing your hands behind your head or your neck. Spread the elbows wide apart. And on an in-breath, coming all the way up. Bend your knees if you need to as you lift. And now we're going to do a few side stretches here, left to right. So with the hands in this position, you're actually creating a very gentle back bend right now. So little gentle stretches side to side. Don't try and fold too deep because then you just strain your back. If the back is straining, then your sides will not be opening correctly. Okay, coming to center and release the arms down. On an inhale, reach your arms up over your head. On an exhale, forward fold. We're going to take it back into a lunge, stepping your right leg back, left knee over the left heel. We're lifting up. We're going to take the arms up to warrior one. If you can, the elbows are stretched straight. Otherwise not, you bend the elbows and take the arms wider until you feel comfortable in the shoulders and the neck. Keeping the legs as they are, take your arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. When you interlace the fingers, the palms face up towards your back, not down towards your leg behind you. So that has a different action on the shoulder joint. We don't want the shoulders to roll forward here. We want them to be able to go back. That only happens if your palms face up right now. Taking hands to the mat, squeeze your tummy tight and then step the right foot forwards. Change to the lunge on the other side. Left leg back, we lift up. Once you've lifted and you feel balanced, arms to warrior one. Try to have the back knee straight. And notice what you're doing with your fingers. Are your hands collapsed or have you got them energized and awake? Keeping the legs as they are, reach your arms back behind you, find your hands behind your back. So once again, we don't think of this as a back bend, but the action of the rib cage right now and the shoulders going back away from the chest means that you're doing a gentle back bend. Taking hands to the ground, we're going to step up to the top of the mat, and just like you did in your lunge, reach your arms back behind you, interlace the fingers. Elbows can be bent, knees can be bent. The bending of the elbows when your arms are behind your back releases the shoulder joint, and bending the knees releases the backs of the thighs and the hip joints and the calves. So play with what feels best for you. If you want to give it the stretch with the elbows straight or straightening and your knees maybe getting straight or almost straight, then go ahead. Let your head hang and fully relax the back of the neck. Now we're going to keep the arms back. On an inhale, come up to standing. Feet are apart, feet are parallel. And now we're going to increase that back bend. So bend your knees. If you can, you lift your toes off the floor here. That's an action for strengthening the arches of the feet. We should all do it several times a day. If you can't get the toes off the ground, that's okay. Squeeze the shoulders back, arching the spine. Keep breathing. And then releasing arms and standing up tall. On an in-breath, reach your arms over your head. On an out-breath, forward fold. We're going back into a lunge again. Right leg steps back. And now when you come up, you're going to take your arms forwards and up. Turn the palms in the direction of your face. Spread your fingers wide for our cactus pulse. As you breathe in, pull the elbows down. As you breathe out, reach up. And do a few more of those in your own time. In breath down, out breath up. Don't do the opposite breath. The way that you're breathing here affects how the muscles release or tense. And we want to get the release as the elbows go down. So that's why we do it on the in-breath. That stretches open the rib muscles, the chest muscles. And next time you pull elbows down, hold it there. Either stay like this or bring your hands behind your head or your neck and widen those elbows. Keep squeezing the leg muscles tight. Keep breathing. Carefully releasing hands down to the ground. Step your right foot forwards. If you need to, you pedal the knees a little bit, and then we take it to the other side. Left leg back. When you lift, arms go forwards and up. Turn your palms in the direction you're looking, and then pulse with the breath. In breath, pull down. Out breath, stretch up. In breath, down. Out breath, up. And it's weird because this is an opposite breath from what we usually do when we extend the arms. We usually extend with an inhale to get long. Here we're extending on the exhale. That's because of the certain action we're trying to get in the chest and the shoulders. Okay, next time you pull down, we hold those cactus arms, spread the fingers wide, either staying like that or bringing hands behind head or neck. And then if you're doing this version, keep those elbows going back. Keep breathing. Stay with that awareness of the breath. And releasing hands to the ground and stepping forwards to the top of the mat. Now reach your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers again. Even if the elbows are bent, take your shoulders towards your spine. On an inhale, coming up to standing. Keeping the shoulders way back, bring your hands onto your lower back. So palms face your body, elbows point back away from you, getting a little bit deeper into our back bend now. I want you to really push your palms into your lower back. Squeeze the belly tight. Lift your chest high. If it's comfortable for you, arch the head back. Maybe even go a little bit deeper into the back bend. But keep those legs strong. Press out with the knees. On an inhale, lift if your head is back. On an exhale, fold down. And like we did earlier, take your feet out to the sides of your mat. We're taking that twist, hooking the right fingers over the left leg. If you can only get over the thigh, that's fine. Go to where you can. Either left hand onto the hip or left arm straight up. Don't lean back towards your bum like I'm doing. Tip the hips forwards. Shift your weight to the knees and the fronts of your shins. And bringing that left arm down, hook over the other leg with the left fingers. And take the right arm up. So again, hand can be on hip or all the way up. And releasing that right arm down. Bringing your feet into hip distance apart again. And once more, taking yourself back into a downwards dog. We're going to hold that down dog for a few breaths. And then coming forwards into your plank. With an out breath, lower down onto the ground. Drop knees if you need to. We're going to do that rolling Cobra again. Might feel a little bit more comfortable now that you're a bit more warmed up. As you breathe in, chest curls up. As you breathe out, lowering down. Now make sure that each time your chest rolls down to the mat, you're keeping the shoulders up. Don't drop the shoulders down. Inhale, peels the chest up off the floor. Exhale, rolls it back down. So feel for that curling, peeling action. Don't make it into a press up. Roll up and down one more time. And next time we come down, we're going to go into a Sphinx pose, so sliding the arms forwards. Now this is a gentle Sphinx. So you see my chest is just very slightly lifted. You're welcome to drop the forehead, but my arms are not back here, right? Here are my shoulders, there are my elbows. We want the elbows in line with the shoulders if you're going into the higher back bend, or elbows further forward. Don't take the elbows back. Okay, so wherever you are holding your pose, make sure the hips are on the floor, the pelvis is on the floor. You're welcome to drop the forehead and relax your neck, or look forwards, or at a slight angle. Don't tilt the head back. Don't look up here. That's not good for the wear and tear in your neck joints. Make sure the neck is not over compressed and tightening in the back. Now with each out breath, feeling these front ribs drop deeper towards the floor, getting nice and heavy in the pelvis and the legs. Make sure that those heels point straight up. You're not rolling them in towards each other. Keep noticing your breathing. Now we're taking the chest all the way to the ground. Now we're going to make our way back into downwards facing dog. From down dog, taking feet forwards to hands. And on an in-breath, floating all the way up to standing. We're going to take that standing camel again, hands back behind you on your lower back. Push your palms into your body as you lift your chest. Squeeze the elbows towards each other behind you, maybe arching into the rib cage and dropping the head back. But don't collapse into the neck like this. Lift up out of your lower back. Lengthen the sides of the neck up, away from shoulders and upper back. Keep breathing. If your head is back, on an inhale, we lift up. On an exhale, forward fold. And now we're going to take right leg back into a lunge. And we're going to twist, keeping right hand on the mat under your shoulder. And either left hand to your hip or left arm straight up. And now careful with this left knee. Make sure it's straight over the left heel. Don't lean it out to the side. Left toes point straight forward. Keep trying to lift your left shoulder more than anything else. Again, your arm can be straight up. And releasing the arm down. Step forwards with the right foot. And take your left leg back. Get the right knee over the right heel. And then left hand on the ground. Maybe right hand on your hip. Or right arm all the way up. Don't force that arm up if it doesn't feel good on the shoulder or your neck. It's got to feel good in those places. Otherwise, keep hand on hip. And releasing your right hand down. And stepping back into downwards facing dog. And now we're going to do one more back bend, dropping knees to the floor. Thighs and knees are as wide as your hips. Right, knees a little bit apart, shins parallel behind you. We're coming to camel pose. If you don't want to do the full camel, you do what you did earlier with the arms reaching straight up, either looking forwards or tilting your head back. If you're going for the camel, like you did when you were standing, hands to the lower back, lift your chest and arch it back. Now, careful with going for feet. If you're reaching back for your feet, often this is what happens, and we don't want that. We want to keep hips over the knees. Don't lean back. If you're going for feet and you can't touch them with the hips over the knees, keep hands on your sacrum and your lower back. Again, head tilts back only if it feels comfortable on your neck. And now coming up, we're onto hands and knees with hips over knees. We're going to take a twist here. Right arm threads behind your left wrist, shoulder to the ground. Either keeping the left hand in front of your face with the elbow lifted or sliding that left arm forwards over your head. But hand is on the ground. Don't lift the arm. Sink the shin bones, sink the feet and the toes. And now pushing into that left hand, come all the way up and change. Slide the left shoulder to the ground. Either right hand stays in front of your nose or reaching that right arm forward over your head. Make sure that your hips are straight up over the knees. Don't lean them to the left or the right, or forwards in front of the knees, or back over the calves. Bringing that right hand back, lift up, and now we're coming to sitting. We're going to come straight into a Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together, holding your ankles. Take a few bounces of the knees to help the groins soften and release. And let those thighs and knees drop. Now we're taking a twist. Left hand hooks over the right ankle. Take your right arm back behind you. Careful about holding on the shin. That tends to lift the knee and tighten the groin and the inner thigh. So preferably hold closer to your right foot than to your right knee. Once you're in that twist, lift up through the spine, lift up through the back of the neck and the top of your head to lengthen your back. Don't let those shoulders get too tight. And circling forwards, hooking right fingers over the left leg and circling left arm back behind you. Twisting forwards again. And now we're going to open legs out into Upavishta Konasana or V-shaped legs. And again, taking a twist. Make sure the feet are flexed, toes pointing straight up, then circle around to the right. Left fingers can hook over that right thigh. Make sure you're not tipping your weight towards your right bum. Sit down deep into the left butt. Lift your chest up high. Always keeping that back up tall and straight. And then circling forwards and around to the other side. Check in with your feet again. It's amazing how quickly we lose that connection and awareness, and the feet just then do their own thing. Keep flexing. Twisting forwards and once more around to the right, hooking left fingers over the right leg. This time we're going to go into the forward bend, sliding the left hand either to the knee or the calf or to the ankle or the outer edge of your foot. So wherever you are, you can either keep the right hand on the ground to the right or you can cross over to the inside of your leg, but keep this left bum down. Don't lift it off the floor. Okay, keep it down. Lifting up tightens that whole left lower back up. So keep it down and the back releases. We're flatten into the spine. Each time you breathe out, sink the left sits bone. And looking towards this right foot, don't twist your head around to the side. I know that can feel like you're getting a stretch through the left side of the neck, but it's actually just over compressing and tightening in the right side. So nose points to that right foot. Coming up to center, and we twist it to the other side, around to the left. Hook your right fingers over your left leg. Keep this right bum and thigh down on the ground as you slide the right hand down the outside of the left thigh, knee or calf. Maybe you can get to the foot, maybe not. And then bring that left hand to the inside of the leg, or keeping left hand on the ground if you need it there. Again, working with those breaths to sink and feel heavy. Each exhale, grounding down through the right bum. And coming back to center. And you're going to bring your legs in together. We're taking a Jana Shasana, bringing left foot up the inside of your right thigh. Drop your knee down. If you can't get your foot up this high, you can always bring it lower down the leg to where it is comfortable for you. And then squaring your chest towards that right leg, either tipping onto your hands on the shin or hands on the floor, or going for the ankle or the outer edges of that right foot. Keep trying to flatten your back out here. Feel your body sink with each exhale. But each in-breath, stretch your chest towards your right foot. Coming all the way up, change legs, left leg straight, right foot to the inside of your left thigh, knee or calf, and then when you're ready, tipping forwards. Try not to round into the upper back. Try to lengthen and flatten the spine, stretching the chest forwards towards your left toes, and keep those left toes straight up. And coming all the way up. One last fold, both legs straight out in front of you to balance out the two sides of the body. Same awareness of trying to flatten out the back. And then coming all the way up. And now we're going to make our way down onto the mat for a couple of minutes of Shavasana. And taking in a nice deep breath. You reach your arms out over your head or hug your knees into your chest. From here, making your way up to sitting. Namaste, everyone. Well done.